All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword for Thursday, March 7th. It is set by Brendan. Let's see what we have. As house decorators, they are tied to secure craft. This one is straightforward if you know the other meaning of the word. First thing I thought of as house decorators are painters. And somewhere along the way, I picked up that, that you use a rope to tie a boat is called a painter. I think it might have been in maybe an Agatha Christie book or Enid Blyton or somewhere. They talked about undoing the painter to release the boat. It's a funny clue. There's no wordplay. And why is the as there as house decorators? Maybe just the surface, although the surface, they are tied to secure craft. I think he's trying to say, they have a certain skill that they're tied to. Anyway, let's try the downs to see if those letters are useful. Problem with vision producing fall. So maybe it is a problem with vision and it also means a fall. Oh, how about a cataract is a waterfall, right? Not supporting initially Art Nouveau, that is. Ooh. Not supporting might be anti. Oh, and in fact, that is the first letters of Art Nouveau. That is decidedly 2D. So I think it's going to mean decidedly, but it's also going to indicate maybe 2D would be flat, I suppose, or unless it's some jokey 2D. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing it. Let's try 8 down just to see. Kind of date in store, bellies out of shape. Ooh. Well, a kind of date in a store, in a shop, would be a sell-by date. And it is an anagram of bellies. Oh, that was easy. This is starting out quite nicely for a Thursday. Let's try distribute aid around half of El Salvador among picture makers. There seems to be somewhat of a theme here about art and painting. So we'll have to look out for that. But I'm not sure. Well, distribute aid. So distribute aid would be to anagram aid. A round of. This is very clever. And funnily enough, when I read it out, I paused between El and Salvador. I'm trying to get in that habit of breaking things up. And sure enough, it is half of EL, just the L, and Salvador among picture makers is Salvador Dali. Clever, very clever. With angry look, one cuts prices for Matisse and others. So I'm wondering if it's Matisse and others, maybe their school of painting. Was Matisse an impressionist? Is there some other thing he might be part of? Or maybe it is with angry look. Well, that seems like a funny definition. One cuts prices, I think, might be the the letter I inside a word for prices. Yeah, and I think because that's plural, I think it is going to be Matisse and others. What would they be described as? And then angry look must be some short word. Oh, what's an angry look? Oh, with, of course, can be W. It's one of those words I just, in my mind, I skim over with, but of course it could be the W, Matisse and others. No, I'm going to need more for that one. Was in charge, we hear, so naturally dropped water supply. Was in charge could be led, but I don't think ran, so naturally dropped water supply. It could be some body of water. No, I'm not saying it. More art here. Artistic problem that can force closure of play. Ooh. Force closure of play. Apologies, there's a car outside that is honking every so often. Artistic problem. No, not seeing it. Attributes the following solution mistakenly. It could, of course, be attributes. The following. Ooh. I wonder if it's going to be an anagram of this following solution. So attributes are attributes beginning with T, tokens, tenets. Now let's try skilled performer, appearing in part I studied. Well, okay, this does go along with the theme. It is an artist. Oh, something happened my keyboard there. Oops, and then something happened my fingers. There we go, artist. So it would be an anagram of artist, traits, of course, attributes, traits. Nice. Let's go back to the downs. Barely suppress emotion as second person working on sculpture. I presume the definition is barely suppress emotion. As might simply be AS, and then second might simply be S. And then a person working on sculpture. But no, not seeing that. Let's go to 9 across. I skipped over. China admits team combining work of various artists. Ooh, I presume it's going to be work of various artists. Is there some, of course, a collaboration or something in musical artists, a collab? This could be a sextet. No, but I think it's going to be some word for China. And we're going to put something for team. Can team simply be T? No, I'm not seeing it. All right. Let's keep going with the downs. Showing one's work on the way out without greeting, head of Bauhaus. So I think it's going to be showing one's work. I want to say exhibiting, which would certainly be in line with the theme. And I can see that high is in there. So on the way out is exiting, which is without or around a greeting and the head of Bauhaus, the B. All right, happy with that. Oh, maybe this is a sextet. But what is the China? Oh, China could be a set. Could it? What else could that be? Anyway, let's see, 6 down. Fraction of number that's small as may be expected. As may be expected. I wonder if there could be a 3-letter word for a fraction of number. Actually, it might just simply be part of number, the word number. That is could be IE and small is S, as may be expected. If that is an E, could it be BERIES as berise? No, belies, as may be expected. Ooh, could it be babies? They may be expected. But then how is BAB a fraction of number? I don't think it is babies, but they are sometimes expected. It's too early to try the check this button. I'll leave it in for now. What is my artistic problem? Let me pause and sip my coffee. No, nothing's coming to me. I do think something that can force closure of play is actually going to be something that would stop children from playing, like when the ball goes over the wall or something like that. And yeah, I'm not very confident about my babies, so I'm going to get rid of them. Yeah, I didn't like the I something I hear for Matisse and others. Maybe I'll have a quick peek at the Wikipedia article for Matisse and see what school he was in. Well, I'm glad I looked at the Wikipedia article. Apparently he was well known for his collages. And then I thought, ooh, how about collagists? I can see we have costs around the outside, which would be the prices. And there one cuts prices. But then with angry look, not sure. We have goal going backwards. Is that right? Okay, I know it's very early, but I'm going to click the check this button. Oh, so yeah, that's funny that he did make collages, but I'm not even sure if there is a word, a collages. So what other, so one, what is an angry look? Of course, angry maybe could be an anagram of look. Um, so looming or let me pause and go back to the Wikipedia article. Well, I just saw something about his use of color, and then I remembered that there is a word lure, which is a dark, gloomy look or frowning looking, sullen, it says here. So colorists, I've never heard that, but that would make more sense. All right, how does that help our decidedly 2D? No, not seeing that. All right, where was I? Have I looked at 6 down? I did, of course. So it's definitely not babies. Fraction of number, that small as may be expected. No. Let's go back to the crosses. Like star-crossed lovers, I enshrined in poetry. Ooh. Well, star-crossed lovers comes from Shakespeare, I think. I enshrined in, so maybe it's just some poetical word that you would use to describe star-crossed lovers. An I goes inside a word for poetry. No. French master singer needs new arrangement. I know there is a French painter, Anger, I think, something like that. I don't think I've ever heard it said, but I do remember, I don't know if any of you are familiar with uh, Brian O'Nolan, Miles Nagopoline, Flann O'Brien, the Irish writer, and he had some story where he was talking about Surah and anger and said more in sorrow, Surah, than in anger, or something. I'm ruining his joke. But anyway, that one stuck with me. So it's an anagram of singer. Another painter upset, I'm going with Dali. Funny that they mention Dali when he's the answer to another. I would assume that compilers try to avoid doing that, but maybe he just came up with such a good anagram. I presume it's going to be I'm going Dali anagrammed. I'm going to pause and do that one on paper and see what I come up with. All right, that one came pretty quickly. Modigliani, I think. All right, let's finish the acrosses before we go back to the downs. Youth, including one, assigned position on ground. Well, first word I thought of for youth is lad, and you put a 1 or an I inside it and you get laid. Fauvist, oh, and by the way, in the article about Matisse, I think he was a Fauvist maybe at the start of his career. Bringing a bright color back, following fashion. I think the most likely, I think we're going to have to reverse the name of a color And the most obvious one would be red. So maybe ending in der. And then following fashion, I wanted it to be mode, but of course it's not that. What's a three-letter fashion, and it's going to mean a fauvist. I think I may have to go back to Wikipedia to find out. I think it's going to be the name of another artist who was a fauvist. No, nothing is coming to me, so let me have a cheeky look. Okay, so I had this in the wrong place. I see from Wikipedia the leaders of the movement were André Derain and Henri Matisse. So it is, so there's the bright color back. So A, bright color, all goes backwards. And then following fashion means you're in. All right, never heard of Derain. Supervised some cricket, followed by piece of play we hear. So a homophone, I think, for a piece of play comes after some of cricket. But yeah, piece of play could be an act or a scene, but I think act sounds good because that could be, say, ACKED, and supervised, no, not saying that. Let's try this 24 down, knowing that the C may be wrong. Detail of face, Hal's mishandled, so it must be an anagram of Hal's, and it would be a lash. So maybe it is a homophone for scene, piece of play. And here, yeah, they want us to think play as in a game, but I think this might be play as in theater. Of course, it could be the set, but supervised. Oh, overseen, of course. So an over is a division of a cricket match, and then the scene. I like it. Let's try Still Life by Van Gogh, or some people say Van Gogh. One mounts. Oh, did he do a painting called Irises? Because it's one is I, and then mounts would be rises. I think that seems possible. French illustrator, upset editor, was abrasive. There is Gustave Doré, and I think if he is upset or backwards, it's erode, and then our good friend the editor, eroded, was abrasive. So among the many games I play each day is Artle. I don't have a whole lot of success with it unless the paintings are signed and I can zoom in on the signature. But I do know whenever it's an etching, I always guess Doré. So I think that's why his name is coming to me quickly. No, don't have enough on that yet. How about cricket side? At oval, scored smoothly. Cricket side. Could be a team, could be an 11. Could also just be a side of the word, the C or the T. At oval. What are we supposed to do with oval? Of course, could be egg, but and then scored smoothly. I do wonder. Oh, I bet it's scored as in music. And so, what do you write? Oh, leg atto. Yes, so leg side in cricket is one side of the pitch, I presume. Well, I'm not quite sure, but is that where the batter, the side he has his legs on, is the leg side, and then the other, I think, is the off side? And then at is simply at, and oval is just O. How is O a standard abbreviation for oval? That's interesting. Anyway, yeah, let's go backwards through the downs. I hope that's not upsetting anyone. It's raised among subjects daily. It's raised. I'm just thinking as far as a daily newspaper, the Times. And I think, well, not sure what I think. It's is not raised. Well, it is among themes. So the word it is raised among themes, and it's a daily newspaper. All right. Point about film part. Neither section of Hollywood can get over. Wow. I presume it's ending in ing. Point could be a point of the compass. No, but then it wouldn't be about. Oh, unless it's a northeast, southwest, and it's about or reversed. And then what's a film part? A roll? It could be a frame or a reel. Neither section of holly wood. Is it something about neither holly nor wood can get over something? Like a trellis or a. Wow, that's a tough one. All right, start up without a prayer, mostly producing kind of ice cream. All right. Without a prayer, mostly. And does all of that wordplay at the start produce a kind of ice cream? Oh, I wanted to say Neapolitan. I thought neo, but maybe it's Neapolitan. Let me check that one. We are almost at the 30-minute mark. It is correct. All right, let's see if we can work out what is start up. Is it a word for start that goes up? Without a prayer, mostly. Again, without might mean that it goes around a prayer mostly. I can see we have most of polite, but I don't think that's a prayer. And then what's the startup that's going around it? Is it some word for start that is written upwards? Now I'm going to have to go to 15 squared. So at the end of the video, I go over to the 15 squared blog to check the explanation of these. All right, I think I've looked at all of them now. Let's try our star-crossed lovers. I enshrined in poetry. I'll pause and finish my coffee before it gets cold and think about that one. Well, I can only come up with one word that fits. I'm sure there's many, but desolate. Could that be like star-crossed lovers? But then I don't get the word play. But on a hillside, desolate. Let's check it. No, all right. I'm going to reveal this one. Veronese. So I presume that's where the play is set. And so I don't know how often we see this, but usually when you read one, you put in an I. Here we read an I, and we need to put in one in verse. I just think Veronese is a little loose as the definition. Like there's nothing to indicate it's where they come from. Yeah, I'm filing a protest about that one. All right, point about film part. Neither section of Hollywood can get over. Yeah, I think it is going to be ing. Point about film. Oh, I think the film part might be a real. Okay, so then if it's not, the tree line. Yes. All right. So point is tine, as in the tine of a fork. And yeah, nothing can grow past the tree line, neither holly nor wood. That's clever. So the bottom half is done. Let's see what we can do with the top. Decidedly 2D, decidedly. I can just think of deuced, but I don't think that's right. Let's check it. It is right. How is that decidedly 2D? Well, I mean, it has two D's in it, but of course, 2 in cards is the deuce followed by the D. Oh my goodness. I wonder if some part of my subconscious brain worked that out or something made me think of deuced. That's pretty amazing. All right. Was in charge, we hear. So naturally dropped water supply. Oh, well, then rained, of course, is dropped the water supply from the sky naturally, and it sounds like REIGN. That's good. All right, I'm going to try the sextet because it is combining the work of 6 artists. Let's check it. No. Oh, of course, assured. I had just guessed those, so, but it is, let me give it one more try. So a team must be an 11. So then a 4-letter word for China, combining work. Mixing as Ming. That is correct. I don't know. I suppose if a DJ is mixing, they're combining the work of various artists. Yeah, I was just trying to work out in what context that was the case. I think I've got it. All right, barely suppress emotion. Oh, as second person, of course, could be Eve. I didn't think of that. Working on sculpture. Oh, I think I'm going to let me pause and think about it. Yeah, so I was trying to think what letter might come first. I thought of an S, and then I thought, oh, SMOU, and then smolder. I suppose if you're smoldering, you're suppressing your emotion. S is second, and then a person working on sculpture could be a molder. I don't think, I don't know, maybe that word is used. A molder of clay? Sure, why not? Ooh, so now artistic problem must be bad, bad something, bad reviews, bad sales, bad light. Yes, I think so. That a cricket match might be called off because of bad light. Let's check it. It is correct. Ooh, so this one now, I think, as maybe fraction of number that small as maybe expected. So it's going to be some word like a pinch or I want to say snitch because I'm wondering if it's small. Oh, a snatch. And natch is slang for naturally, as may be expected. I think that's right. It is. All right. I made it through. There were just a couple I had to reveal, so let's check all. Everything else still seems to be there. Let's check 15 squared. All right, today's blog is by Eileen. Interesting and enjoyable theme introduced in the first clue. Cleverly developed. Oh, spotted several more pairs. Rained, Derain, Verony. Oh, I didn't see that. And Dally and Laid. That is very clever. All right. The only one I think I had trouble with, oh, let's look, Veroni's. It is Romeo and Juliet in Fair Verona. Veronese was also a painter to go along with the theme. I'm wondering if there are any other ones that that I missed. But really the only one I had trouble with was 13 down, the Neapolitan, another lift and separate, a reversal of open, which is start, goes round or without a, and then, prayer mostly is litany without the y. Wow, that is very complicated. All right. Always an extra dimension with Brendan. Yeah, I must say I really enjoyed that one and having the theme. I like having themes. Some people don't, I know. And juiced decidedly. All right, well, I'm happy enough with that for a Thursday. I hope you did even better. I'm sure you did, like most of you. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day.